allow me to invite Mr. Lamek Angila, the Secretary General, Kenya University Dean of Students Association, and also the Dean of Students, KCA University. We shall be having our first panelist discussion. He will be our session moderator, and we shall be discussing the theme economic mindset change and poverty reduction. We know so well that currently matters economy is what has been discussed in the country, and it is one of the key factors in our nation. What is our level of the financial literacy? How best are we empowered with knowledge to be able to create lasting economic change? So he shall guide us throughout the discussion. I'm so excited because I know he's going to give us some nuggets of wisdom, and ultimately we are going to learn. We youth, what we usually lack is lack of information, lack of knowledge, and information and knowledge is power. Comrades, wisdom. We shall appreciate him with our 5 factorial in ascending order. Mnajua ascending order? Ascending order ni gani? Chini tukipanda juu, sivyo? Bottom up. Yes. Yes, so as he approaches the stage, we can just begin right now. So we shall start. 5 factorial. Thank you so much.
If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, smile at your neighbor. Good morning, guys. Our chief guest, the first daughter of the Republic of Kenya, our vice chancellors, our deputy vice chancellors, the deans present, distinguished guests, and of course our honorable students. Today we are here to deliberate on an interesting topic that is affecting our youth: economic mindset change and poverty reduction. So my name is Lamek Angila, and I'll be a moderator for this particular session. Allow me to invite the panelists to the stage. I'll invite the first panelist is my friend, Mr. Benson Mudendi, the CEO, Youth Enterprise Development Fund. Makofi, moja. Moja, twende. Good evening. Tatu. Funga. Fungua. I'll also invite Dr. Fred Ogola, the Chief Executive Officer, Wanafunzi Investment Unit Trust Fund. Thank you so much. I saw Mr. Kinyo, but I think he stepped out. Chacha, you can guide us?
Comrade Save. Invest. Comrade Invest. Save. Hii session tunatumia hiyo, sawa? Comrade Save. Invest. Comrade Invest. Save. Allow me to request, this is an activity that is in the university, and we want to hear the voice from one from the Dean of Students, and one from the Vice Chancellor. Kindly. Because we just want volunteers, somebody who can volunteer from the Dean's section. One volunteer, kindly. It is a general question, because you are the people who run. Karibu sana. Tumpigie makofi ya kibucha. I humbly also request the Vice Chancellor, kindly sir, to come and also be part of the panelists. Makofi kwa Vice Chancellor. Comrade, makofi si mzito. Makofi tena kwa Vice Chancellor. Karibu sana bro. Allow me to hand over the stage to the Secretary General, Kenya University Dean of Student Association. The youngest, I think you're the youngest dean. The youngest is still a youth. And he became, kindly bring us one seat for the MC, or the facilitator. Vijana, this is to tell you that it's possible. The dean or the Secretary General became the dean when I think he was below 30 years. Was he 29? 29 years of age. Makofi kwake. So we purposely selected him to be the part of the facilitators or to ensure that he facilitates this program, because apart from being a dean, he is also a youth like us. So we feel like there is a lot that we'll be able to learn together. Vile akiendelea kukaa DJ. Kila mtu ametweet. It will be very offensive if somebody doesn't tweet. And in this forum, kindly request that you go to your phone, follow the official, that is Goosebump official, say something of today's program. Don't forget to really appreciate the First Lord of the Republic of Kenya, Shalim, and of course our patron, that is Mama Rachel Ruto, in absentia, because she's ametuma mtu wa nguvu. Kijana kama sisi. Sinaona tuko safe. Yes. I hand over the stage to our Secretary General to take over. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So to our able panelists, karibuni sana, and I hope we'll have a wonderful discussion that will benefit the members in this room and the youth at large. So probably just to get us started, I'll ask the first question to Mr. Benson Muthendi. So we're talking about economic mindset change and poverty reduction. So can you just help us to demystify what, when we talk about economic mindset, what do you mean? And poverty reduction?
Thank you very much, Lamek. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We normally say that entrepreneurship is about the mind. What you can be able to do with your life is all in your mind. And when you believe it's not possible, it's not going to be possible. If you believe it is possible, it's going to be possible. But only if you move from believing to doing. So it is therefore very important that even as at times we live in difficult circumstances, we move from a point of complaining to a point of asking yourself, what can I do about it? That's the mindset change we're talking about. What can I do about it? I am here. I am not able to fend for my family. I am not able to fend to pay my school fees. And you have seen students who have told you, I struggled. Nikafanya kibarua, nalipa school fees. That's mindset change. Because it will also have been possible for you to say, I cannot pay fees, let me go and rest at home. So mindset change is about you being able to be in control of the circumstances. What is this that I can do? And the best approach to mindset change is starting the lowest and the smallest you possibly can. Because at times we want to get out of where we are. But then we want to move from pre-unit to grade 8. That is not possible. It is important to appreciate that if we are at position 1, for us to get to 3, we go to position 2. As you climb the stairs here, you don't start down here and find yourself in the middle. You have to go through all the stairs. So in other words, what we're saying is this country is endowed with the resources, is endowed with opportunities, and unless we set our mind on taking advantage of those opportunities, it's not going to be possible. And I want to give an example as I finish. Recently, the president launched the Hustler Fund. I attended that function at the Green Park. It was a beautiful event. And people were asking, what can you do with 500? Yet we have thousands of Kenyans who are looking for 500 to do something. So people are asking, what can I do with 2,000? And a Boda guy is telling me that his tire tube has burst. He just needs 500 to buy another tube. He does not have money. He goes into Hustler Fund through his phone, gets 500, buys a new tube, and is back on the road. But somebody else is asking, what can we do with 500? So it's about seeing opportunities in everything that comes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Fred, in the recent times you've seen there's a lot of the youth, borrowing from various mobile lending apps, betting and all that. So what is the new mindset that the youth can probably have to end poverty in Kenya?
Thank you very much. I want to take this chance to acknowledge our chief guest. That's the daughter of our President of Kenya. Thank you very much. I think this is a very good initiative. It's a good leadership to lead as a youth. I guess that the future is very bright for you, and I hope that the brightness also shines to all of the young people in this room. My comment when I talk about a mindset change, very many people use the words like think outside the box, think without the box, and very few people know actually how to think outside the box or to think without this box. What is happening in this time for the youth, I would like to say there is a very beautiful way to look at it. There is what you call bad habits. There is what you call normal habits. What are bad habits? Bad habits are the things that takes you away from your true north, which is your goal in life, the one you want to achieve. Everybody has theirs. So I also have mine. I don't know how much I'm achieving mine, but everybody has to know that. The second thing, we're talking about normal habits. Normal habits are the things you have to do, like eating, walking, going to the toilet. They are normal habits. They take you nowhere. They don't give you any competitive advantage. But there's what we call the good habits, or what we call in a book called atomic habits. They're the habits that transform you. Now, if you take money from Tala as a young person in university and use it to host your girlfriend by buying for her chicken in or pizza and paying her Uber, that's bad habit. And that takes you to nowhere. If you borrow money from Tala branch or Hustler Fund and use it to dress smart to kill, and no one dies, that's bad habit. Since you began dressing to kill, who has died? Only your pocket feels it, isn't it? But no one dies. In fact, some people don't notice. I can see the daughter of the president. Maybe someone thinks what she's dressing is dressing to kill. She's just very simple. What is important is be presentable. And some of us go to dress to kill, no one dies, your pocket dies. So that is what I call mindset change. And let me tell you what, if you give me your M-Pesa statements, I'll tell you your manners, and I'll tell you your behavior. If every Friday, today is Tuesday, Every Friday, you host women to your apartments or to your hostel. I'll see Uber bills, I'll see chicken bills, I'll see pizza bills. Those are habits. If you are taking money to invest, for example, buy a tire for a border, or you take money to buy some things you sell in the campus, those will be good habits. So the change is these three habits: good habits, bad habits, normal habits. Which are your habits? We pay for our behavior. If you are a smoker, your bills tilt towards smoking. If you are a drunkard, your bills are more of a bar bills. If you are an investor, your bills will be purchasing things, selling, and then there's endless hitting your account. So for this money you're borrowing, whether it's Hustler Fund, Branch, Tala, whatever it is, are you putting them in good habits? Are you putting them in normal habits? Or are you putting them in good habits? That will make a difference. So let's say if 80% of this money you borrow goes into good habits, the atomic habits, you're having a mindset change, you will succeed. But if you're borrowing for consumption, you're borrowing to show your colleagues that you are living good life. All of us, we know we fake it till we make it. That is not the right thing to do. So, look, all the big politicians you see in this town were in Joseph Nairobi, isn't it? Even His Excellency the President was here, isn't it? If you live what he lived, or if you live those who came to show off, you will not be any different. And because we are talking about savings here, that's why one of the things is here. Kenyans save 12% of the GDP. Yet you blame the government for borrowing, which means that we can only finance 12% of our GDP through the money we save. Now, the government has not even borrowed 88% of the GDP. We have only borrowed 75%, which means we are doing very well. But if we continue with the bad habits of borrowing consumptions, borrowing to dress, borrowing not to entertain, by the time you will be in government one day, we shall be having 90%. For example, countries like Japan, they're doing 270% of the GDP. Those are the challenges we shall have. And to conclude, what do you need to do with your youth when you are here? When you are here in campus, this is the time to learn. This is the time to explore. This is the foundation. Your biggest resource is your youth. Whatever you do with it will define your future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You know, you might Fuliza, and then you send, there's something called Kukula Fair. Thank you so much. Look, just to follow up on what Dr. Gola has said, as a university, more so as student affairs department, we get to see many students visiting our offices and asking for financial help and seeking for support. So does the university play any role to assist in this economic mindset change among the youth, in your own opinion?
Thank you. Thank you so much. At the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, where I come from, that's very eminent. But before I continue, may I also appreciate the presence of all of us, especially our chief guest. As I did with Student Affairs, almost all the challenges, the economic challenges, stop at my door. Students come expressing their inabilities, especially when it comes to paying school fees and eating at the same time. And at the university, we've come up with a policy which I believe is workable in all other universities, where we started what we call student study work program. We've seen students come possibly first years. Some come with as low as 3,000 to come and register for a semester. Others come with nothing at all. But at the university, with this program, our student study work program, we give our students work where they study, maybe their school fees, while they are to supplement the little that they have. And sometimes for those who totally have nothing, we give this work program at the cafeteria, because you know what that means. They study, they serve food, and they eat. And this really helps them so much to cater for their stomach as well as their studies. It's very important for our students to learn that nothing comes for free. That money we set aside as a university as a bursary. But as the Bible says, if we don't work, don't eat. So we normally preserve it there so that they work, and it is given to them as a bursary. Our students and our young people must appreciate manual work, working to gain. Because if you get accustomed to free things, then the moment you lack that free thing, you're in trouble. Following up on what my colleague said here, we need to know that we need to start investing. We need to invest. We need to work. And investment does not mean you get a loan from a bank. As low as 500, as it has been said, you can invest. I remember in one of our graduation ceremonies where His Excellency Lunyanga Paul was a chief guest, he told our graduates that as you go out, go and look for money, buy 2 chicken. Don't eat their eggs. Ensure they hatch. And when they hatch, ensure you don't eat those the hatched ones. And at the end of the year, you have built your investment. Then after they grow, and when we talk about chicken, it reminds me of the early days of our president. And the day I passed through his home and I saw the big investment of chicken. Chicken, you don't need a lot of money to invest in chicken. As low as 500, 200 shillings, you invest. The challenge we have is that sometimes, sorry, I'm not taking so long. The challenge we have is sometimes we cherish poverty. We cherish poverty and we associate it with the Bible. In Matthew 19:24, that it is difficult. It is difficult for a rich man to go to heaven. And you compare with the camel and the needle. And we embrace poverty. But we need to read the same, how they look for food. And so we need to be vibrant when it comes to investments. We should know that poverty is sinful. In fact, you cannot go to heaven if you are poor without investing and you have the ability to invest. I think let me stop there so that I don't take the whole moment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, Prof, as universities, how do we inculcate the culture of saving among the young people in our institutions?
Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Samuel Good, Vice Chancellor of the University. I just want to say and recognize the presence of the dignitaries, the guests, ladies and gentlemen. It takes a while to and the effort to attend a function like this. And therefore, Charlene, we are grateful for your presence amongst the students. I want to say, as a Vice Chancellor, I've seen it quite a bit. I want to advise our students. I think all of us in this hall were at one time students. We were at one time young, and we had to take some decisions. And I think it is the best thing at this time to look at tomorrow. I think all investments are looking for tomorrow because we don't know how tomorrow will be. And therefore, if we don't change the mind to recognize our strength now, if we don't change our mind that we are not living for today, we are living for today and we must live for tomorrow. I want us to also think about being young. We're not going to be young. We're not going to be students forever. And we must start thinking, what will happen when you will be on your own? It is not going to be your parents that will drive your economic activities. I want us to think again about how can we change our circumstances. How does today's sacrifices we make in terms of investment, and I want us to start by investing in our mind. Please start to invest in your mind, because if it is not in your mind, you will not invest even if you get $1 million. Because everything starts with a plan. Have you planned how you will be tomorrow or in future? If you don't change your mind to start thinking for tomorrow or in future, then even big money means nothing, because you have no plan even how to use it. And therefore, what I have seen as a student, I was a student of this university. And what I saw as a student, and what I'm seeing now the students are going through, is fairly similar. The magnitude may differ, but I want to ask the students that you are the future of this nation. But the future of this nation cannot be carried out with people who have got no change in mind to think about the economic situation for tomorrow for this country. It is not too late. It is not too late to change your mind. It has to start with an individual, and that individual is you. How are you going to live tomorrow? If you are the firstborn in a family, are you thinking about the kind of role you are supposed to serve? You are supposed to be a role model for the ones who are following you. In terms of investment, in terms of good behavior, and therefore I just want to say in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, this is the right time when you can be deciding to be a leader in future. If you don't change your mindset, I can assure you those who have got nothing to invest remain at that position. Unless they accept and believe in themselves. I want you to believe in yourself that you will make it in future. And that the little monies you are getting, even if it is from parents or guardians, that the way you use that little, the way you change your mind to use that little, is the way you will use it when you will be in a better position and when you get more. If you don't want to use the little properly because you don't change your mind and not believe yourself in your power to change the world, then I can assure you, even when you will be a senior officer somewhere, you will not be able to support yourself even properly. And may God bless you. I think this is the start of all of us, including myself, because I still have got life to live, and therefore I'm in a learning platform, just like you're in a learning platform. Accept to change and accept to invest in the change of mindset that will push you and this country from your strength. We believe this country is going to be great. Thank you so much.
I think the question you asked, Prof, is more the question I should be asking, because as the CEO of Wanafunzi Unity Trust, our work is to bring students to invest. Let me just explain that we had a challenge of platform or technology because many Kenyan software developers promise and give you end-to-end solution, but you don't know where the end begins and the other end starts. So our work with 4 software developers who gives end-to-end solutions which do not end and don't begin. But finally we cracked it. This week we are doing what you call the trials, and then I'm sure next week we can roll it out. I was in Rongo to talk to the students there, but a few things here. When they tell you to change your mindset, let me put it very practically. If you go to the US, the Protestant part of the US is richer than the Catholic part of the US. That's a fact. If you go to Texas, you compare that with Chicago, the one that is richer than the other, and it's just because of the religious beliefs, like you said. The Catholics came to evangelize people to take their souls to heaven. So if they found you sick, they would baptize you. What was important was that you go to heaven. I'm a Catholic, so I'm not talking against them. I am a Catholic. I wanted to be a priest there. I got kicked out when I was 3 months ago, so I have no regrets about it. I'm still a Catholic. My family, my brother is a priest, so there is nothing wrong about what I'm saying. I'm just being factual. I'm an economist. In God we trust, let's bring data. So that is the Puritan side of the Catholic Church, which is richer, or the US, which is richer. The Catholic part was not. What was the difference? Philosophy. You should go to heaven. The Puritan taught people that there must be a healthy soul living in a healthy body. And therefore, they encourage their children to save money. What did they tell them? If your father gives you 100 shillings, walk for 30 minutes, walk on that fare, save 30 shillings, and spend 70 bob. You are here in campus, you are receiving pocket money. Sometimes to move from point 1A to B, do you walk a third of your journey so that you can save a third, not a third? Do you walk 30% of your journey because a third is too much? Do you walk 30% of your journey, save 30 shillings, and then spend 70%? Or you want comfort? I know you come to school in high heels, isn't it, ladies, right? And I'm told the heels are more expensive than the entire shoe. If that heel gets broken, women get so mad, isn't it? Because the shoe is destroyed. Why are you coming here in high heels, which is expensive? Just to show you can do catwalk. This is not a place for catwalk. If you save on your shoe, that shoe you are buying, which is more expensive because of the high heels, that is the difference between saving and spending. If you, some of you, lunchtime, you eat, like those food, you move around, you buy groundnuts there. If you just stop buying those 3 groundnuts per week, you can save 100 bucks. Some of you, when they are in traffic, they are looking around, banana he has eaten. After 2 meters of traffic, they call groundnuts. Then after that, they call chocolates. That is what, if you stop, you can save, because you are not working and you receive money. I'm not asking you to steal to save, but I'm asking you, by changing your habit, you can actually save. That's practical. But let's come back home here. You find that you can find solutions. Like, there's Catholic University, I used to teach there. I used to also work there. Do you know that there are more Protestants in Catholic University as students than Catholics? Do you know why? Because Catholic University is a little more expensive than other universities, and the Catholics cannot afford a Catholic University, and Protestants can afford Catholic University more than Catholics. The main reason what I'm telling you, philosophy. Do you save money? Are you concerned about building wealth? You cannot invest what you have not saved. So I know you can borrow to save, but this actually is the mathematics that I've so not understood as an economist, because I know that by saving, you earn less interest than you pay for borrowing. And And I think the intention is not saving. The intention of the Hustler Fund is not that you can save Hustler Fund. The intention is to ignite your mind to save, not that you can use Hustler Fund to build your savings, no. It is just giving you a mindset of saving. It's not to give you money to save. So, as a nation, I would like us to understand a few of these philosophies of leaders. When they say we are building Hustler Fund, some of us are looking at it just plainly. It could mean something deeper, like say the mindset. Let's have that mention and use, please. Today, can we agree that the first M-Pesa you get from any of who's your sponsor, whether you are somebody's slave queen or whatever it is, that you will take 30% of that money and send it to a savings account and use only 70% today, then to a mindset check.
Thank you. Maybe before I give you back the microphone, I think there are two things that have come up here very clearly. One, among the people of the age that is represented here, peer pressure is a driver to bad habits. A lot of people whom you listen to too much have actually no effect in your life. They have no impact in your life. But what you think about them drives you into bad habits that drive you into poverty. So then therefore, let's just try and ask ourselves, who is the most important person in my life? That guy who sits next to me in class. What does it matter whether I impress him or not in how I dress? What does it matter whether I impress him or not in what I eat at the canteen? So that's point number one. Point number two, from what I've taken from this honorable guest, is we are what we have made, and our future is made by us now. So what you are today is a total sum of how you have behaved in the past. And what you will be a total sum of how you behave from now moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Probably before we open it up to the floor, Bwana Mutheni, as the CEO of Youth Enterprise Development Fund, I'm sure that so many young people who knock at your door. What are some of the challenges that are facing these young people, and what are some of the products that you have for them as Youth Fund that they can tap into?
Okay, thank you very much. Now, one of the greatest challenges that I've seen with our young people, and I think this is a conversation that we need to have with universities and with our school system and with our elders in the community. One is mentorship. That a lot of people are growing up like weeds. Unajua magugu ile iko kwa shamba. You don't know what cares kama magugu imekula, kama ilikufa usiku, kama imetolewa. You don't know what cares. So we have a lot of young people who nobody asks them, how have you woken up? Have you eaten? What are you planning to do today? What challenge do you have today? How can I help you? A lot of people, young people, are just living on their own. They don't have a compass that they can follow. And so one of the things we need to do in this country, we really need to strengthen mentorship at family level, at college level, at community level, so that, our young people can feel there is a compass they have in their mind that is telling them this is the right direction, and this is the map, and this is where you need to go. Point number two. When we come to entrepreneurship, there's this feeling that everybody wants to get into entrepreneurship. And I've seen a lot of my friends calling me and asking me, CEO Youth Fund, what are you doing? I've gone to my shopping center in the rural areas and I found young people there just idling. Why haven't you given them money to do business? So one, you don't get money like a pay. You apply for it. And you apply based on need. And now this is where the challenge comes. That a lot of our young people have no idea what business they would want to start and where. So we have a big responsibility as a nation to try and help our young people identify opportunities, to handhold them so that they can take advantage of these opportunities. Then 3, of course, the other challenge is what we've been discussing here, about the mindset. When we get money, how do we want to behave with it? If, for instance, today I got a loan of 100,000 from the Youth Enterprise Fund, and I went and bought some Kenyaji chicken sometime in September, and in December I am selling them for Christmas, and I make myself another 100,000. What is this that I'm likely to do with the money that I've made? Is there a likelihood that I'm going to buy a more expensive phone? That I'm going to buy very expensive clothes? Is there a likelihood that if I make a little money, I want to buy a car other than build my enterprise? So these are some of the challenges that are afflicting our young people, and we must see how we support. Then the other thing is, how do we use our time? When we're in university, we're in touch with other students, we have a network here, we have access to our professors. The best minds in the Republic are found at the university. And yet also, it is in the university that we have the most time. Because you find someone is in class for 3 hours. What do you do with the rest of the time? Now you have seen some of the greatest innovative ideas have come up from students in university. It is because they used their time well. There is so much that you can be able to do during your spare time to earn your income. But if you want to use our free time to rest, to pick a story, we go to town, go and look for booze, my friends, we are just going to destroy our lives. And so you are asked about some of the products that we have. The Youth Enterprise Fund provides loans and business development services to youth-owned enterprises. We have loans for groups, small groups of 5 to 10 members, giving them loans of 100,000, graduating them up to $1 million, and some of them are doing wonderful projects. We also have individual loans and business expansion loans, again starting from 100,000, going up to 5 million shillings, including asset financing. We have young people we have bought trucks for, motorcycles, tuk-tuks. Just the other day, we're in Mombasa, there's a group that, they started with 50,000. They bought some bicycles, they graduated to boda, to tuk-tuk. Now they have bought a matatu, using our asset financing. There's a young lady who has a funeral home, I think in Kangemi, and she also started with little money. So recently she came and told us, she began by making coffins, a few coffins. Now she has established a funeral home, and she came and told us recently that now I want to buy a house, and I have only the little money. So we have given her asset finance. She's been able to buy a house, well, this is not very good to say, but her business is doing well. It's not very good to say because somebody must die for our business to do well. So then we also have loans for agribusiness. For instance, there's a young man who took an agribusiness loan, was doing private farming in Mombasa. Right now he has opened a rabbit meat restaurant on Gogo Road. So you see that's how we grow ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Makofi to the panelists. So I want to open up the floor. If there's any question, so there's one. I need somebody to help me with the mic. So just introduce yourself and then ask your question. Just raise your hand.
Good morning. How are you doing? My name is Kaimenyi Samuel. I'm the Secretary General KC University. My question is directed to Mr. Benson. I've heard you've acknowledged that we have the good things and minds in the universities. And still at the university, the majority of group also lose. So we know, I think the majority who are in this room, they are the student leaders from various universities across the country and the county. And my question is, how can we, as student leaders, help to group this gap? Because you, the people in the corporate sector, already you understand that there is this need and there is these challenges in universities. But we as the student leaders, we are the right people to use. How can we effectively be of use in conjunction or in partnership with you to bridge this gap of the challenges facing our comrades at the university? For instance, there is a need for our comrades to be taken through financial literacy, among other things. How can we take place to group this gap effectively? Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll take like 4 and then we'll be able to answer.
Yeah, to the panelists, I'm Steve Biko, Corporate Affairs, Chiromo Campus. Yeah, I'm very happy since I started joining the forum from yesterday. I think that things should not now remain the way they were before I attended. So to the panelists, I'm very happy about the same. Now from the panel, my question, I direct my question to Dr. Ogola when he talked about this part of spoiling the other gender. So does it necessarily mean that we should run away from spoiling them because yeah, we know this our gender. If you don't spoil them, my friend, you will remain to be that hard. You just should we not spoil them, or should also not also from them should they also not spoil us, because it will sometimes it is all the way around, okay? And then also to him again, I was also trying to ask this. When we get to the panelists, sometimes you will get that someone, let me say for example, when someone scores an A and then he gets there in the air, you will understand that you are saying that I scored this A, but before I did it, I was even, the light was not there, I was using maybe the cigarette light. Or also sometimes you will get someone saying that I started the poultry farm with only one feather of the head. So I wanted to ask this, in a part of now saving, if we are to start the investment as student or the student leaders, which amount, just in reality? Can we start it with 1 shilling, 2 shilling, or can we wait to get some 10K is when we start it? Otherwise, that's the question that I have.
Thank you. Okay.
Hello, thank you. My name is Sheila Jepkemboy and a student at Presbyterian University of East Africa. My question is concerning the work study program. I've been vetting in our school concerning the work study program, and at times you always find that this is not sustainable. You can get a student is given the program at first year, but after some time, because needs arise and other students may have more needs than, okay, we can prioritize those students with more needs. How can we ensure that the work study program is sustainable? How can we ensure and tell universities, because I really admire some universities like Technical University of Kenya, which have student centers. In student centers, we see students given chances to do business in these student centers. How can we ensure that comrades can invest in student centers? How can we ensure that no matter the rules of the university, we can have students run businesses in the universities? So answer me on sustainability of work study programs in universities, and how can we ensure that all universities in Kenya have the student centers? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll come to you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Moda Jackson from the Technical University of Kenya. My question I'm directing to the CEO of Youth Fund. I wanted to ask if I were to knock at your office right now, if there is money I can borrow, or there are specific times of the year when you open rooms for application. Again, the requirements for someone to qualify, if it is you just present yourself and explain your idea, or they look at some things like what's your current bank balance, age. Is it just you walking there and explaining your idea? Thank you.
Thank you. So we can answer those questions. Okay.
So I'm just making a request because I came here by 8:30. As a professor, we always in time to start. And of course, we can answer it, but that's not the issue. The issue that I have to go. But let me answer my questions. Then, if you allow me, with all courtesy that I give. So first and foremost, let me answer on your behalf on the issue of can you knock in the office and get money? First of all, you cannot ask for a bank loan in public business. That's a joke. But I was a banker. There are 4 C's that for any loan or any money to be given, you must have, even a debt, you must have the 4 C's. First is character. Do you have character? You have to demonstrate collateral, isn't it? You must demonstrate. You must demonstrate capability to pay. And then you must demonstrate cash flow. How is your mobile moving? How is your investor moving? And where is the money going? And where is the money coming from? I'm sure even in a relationship, if you can't show these girls that somebody said they want to spoil your investor movements, I think you're not viable. So maybe you can answer now on your own, but I think that's very critical. Character, how do you come? Do you have a business plan? Like Professor was saying, do you have a business plan? Does business plan demonstrate you can do business and pay this money? Do you look like someone who can be trusted with money? Because some of them are non-secure loans, mostly. But anyway, these are things you have to think about. And when you ask about the minds that can mentor, let me tell you what. University students, I'm sorry to be very clear. For me, I'll say the truth whether I like it or not. Do you think you are easy to bring closely to them? Do you package yourself as people who can easily come to somebody, sit down with, and listen to counsel? Yes. I have been mentoring students, I have not gotten that impression. The packaging. No, what I'm trying to say is this. When you tell young people, come together, they'll ask you, facilitate me to come. I'm a professor. I am paid 25,000 shillings an hour. Isn't it? I want to spend my hour with you. Then you're telling me I need to pay you an allowance to talk to you. Isn't it? I'm saying package yourself in a way that you can receive this advice. Whether I'm wrong or not, I think you get my point. Isn't it? So I would be willing to come to any place. You have a forum. If there is no soda, you say, but how do we meet when there is no soda? Isn't it? I cannot be taking myself here and buying new soda. I mean, I'm just a professor. I only eat chalk. The chalk pays very little. Only standing allowance, not sitting allowance. So the free talk there, I was never paid, isn't it? Organize through his office, we will come and do it. No excuses. We want results this year. The economy is bad. People are suffering. People are sick. We cannot be full of ethicals and complaints. Organize the forums. Reach out to the team here. Alan Shasha is here. I will come. You won't come to me. Are we together? Now, on the issue of spoiling this other opposite gender, let me tell you what. We have a president where people say he entered office slightly younger, you understand, than average presidents, isn't it? Obama became president also very young. Trump became a president slightly on the sunset days of his life, isn't it? What's the difference? What you bet on at a certain age, if you are betting on making the opposite gender entertained, isn't it? You will achieve most of your goals much later. but you'll achieve the goal of entertaining them earlier. Some of us were not even viable when we were in campus because we betted on reading. In fact, when I was studying my PhD, my colleagues told me, Fred, you're in Barcelona. Beautiful girls, wine. Enjoy yourself, release yourself, have some fun. I know what you want to say, isn't it? You can tell, isn't it? But I was reading. Some of them are still trying to finish their PhD 5 years when I'm done because they betted on entertaining. Actually, Barcelona, you get entertained by those. They're doing to spend money. Remember, Ronaldinho career was killed. There's a city of fun, I'm telling you, man. They talk about Mamacitas, they're there. But I didn't bet on Mamacita, I bet on study. Sitting in a room which is very small, with a book, reading and underlining, when the women, beer and alcohol is outside there and wine. What is your bet in this campus now? Is it a good habit, bad habit, neutral habit? It's your choice. The opposite gender also, I will tell you, if you are betting on not telling these guys and the expert of them buying you chicken in, even the cars we buy them with high mileage or low mileage, isn't it? When you finish that, will you be high mileage? Will you be low mileage? The choice is yours. At the expense of chips and chicken and other things. I'm just trying to tell you, if you would go and read the history of those who made it at a certain age, you will see what they did bet on. It is not a priority to be in a relationship in campus. It is not. But you can say what you think. It is not a priority, but at the same time, why are you trading each other? You trade chips for yourself, isn't it? What's the outcome? The outcome you know, isn't it? Someone will leave bruised in one way or the other. When I was in Catholic University professor, there is a lady who came to me and told me she wants to do supplementary exams because during the exam week, they broke up with the boyfriend, so she was so heartbroken that she can't do exam. I'm sure you know all these things, isn't it? You postpone the exam because of a man who won't marry you. When I was in primary school, I promised a girl I'd marry them when I finished class 8. I didn't. In university, I promised dear girls I'll marry them when I finish Form 4. I was too broke to read. When I finished my first degree, same. The only time I made a serious proposal was when I finished my PhD, isn't it? The rest I was lying. So girls, mark my words. They will keep you hoping, but they never satisfy anything in you. Now the last question is about where do you start? Start with what you have. Change your habits. At Wanafunzi, you can even save 10 shillings. It will be used on your mobile app. This information comes to you. Whatever you can save, save now. Don't save tomorrow, because as you are still keeping this money, Fuliza will come to you, isn't it? Other people demand some money from you. But at Wanafunzi we require, if you can target 500 shillings per month, you can save that after 4 years. If you finish campus, you can actually end up with 36,000 shillings in your pocket. If you add what you have saved plus the interest, that is your Ignite, your first key to life. You can use it for targeting, you can use it to start your first investment. And with that savings, the one of the C's that he's looking for will be solved. You have collateral, you have some cash flow. ETC. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Daktari. First question is when we lend. We lend money all the time. As we speak now, because we have offices in the counties across the country. As we speak now, there are young men and women streaming into offices and filling in application forms. So we lend all the time. And you do not have to know anyone to obtain loans. To date, we have given loans to about 2 million young Kenyans in the last 15 years. Now, all those 2 million Kenyans cannot be knowing the 100 staff that we have at the Youth and Enterprise Development Fund. Then I think the other question about lending and how loan is appraised, Daktari has answered that, I don't need to answer. Then there was a question on how can university leaders work with the Youth Enterprise Fund to ensure that we disseminate information to the youth and to ensure that we mentor and guide our young people. We are already working with universities. We have made it a policy to participate in all career fairs of the universities. Anytime a university has a career fair, we set up a tent to disseminate information. Now the question is, how many students, when we have a career fair at the University of Nairobi, and we had one recently here, out here, how many students attend that career fair? So how many students want to see the opportunities that are out there? That is one question. The other thing we are doing is we've been working with various student organizations like this university. I remember in the past we have worked with the Account Students Association. We have worked with ISEC. They have invited us to forums where we've been able to speak to the students. We are now working with the deans through USPAC. And through USPAC, we have an officer here, Belfast, and that officer, we have dedicated him to work full time with USPAC anytime they need him, because we want to see how can we structure products that can be of benefit to our university students. And we are also trying to see how do we promote financial literacy in the university using USPAC. But then again, you'll find when you talk about forming an association of students at the university to do business and to do constructive things, only a fraction of the students will register. But when you say you want to have a trip to Zanzibar, even when we don't have money, we'll register. You see, and it comes back to the same thing. Where is our interest? What future do you want to build? Where are we, and here I want to talk about what our president has been talking about. Where are we so hell-bent on consuming? Why don't we want to spare a moment, spare a cent to build our future? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Doc, there was an issue of sustainability of financial aid programs.
Oh, thank you so much for that important question on sustainability of student study work program. Before we go to its sustainability, we need to ensure that as an institution of higher learning, that we employ less permanent workers so that we can engage our students. And this, I believe, can work in almost every university represented and those which are not represented. On sustainability of the same, we normally tell our students, and we should tell them, that work-study program is to supplement the school fees. At the same time, there are those who totally can have nothing to have this as a supplementary, so they wholly and totally depend on it. And so what we tell them, because it's not enough, it caters for about 30%, although to some students who prolong their stay, it can go to up to 70%. We encourage them to do business. In fact, one of my area of teaching, which I love most, is entrepreneurship education, or entrepreneurship in education, where I tell my students, for you to earn a grade in this class, you show me some of what you are doing to start a business. And to my surprise, one of my students, by the end of the year, he started importing shoes, and he had become so wealthy, and he started driving out of that class which we taught. Anyway, we encourage them to do more business, and I'm happy that I see some of my students in the evenings doing some border business. Of course, when some of them started border, they were at loggerheads with the border community people, but we had to talk to them, to harmonize and the like. At the same time, the sustainability, we encourage those who are in student work study program to look beyond that work study program, because this is not an employment. And at our university, at Baraton, we look beyond the borders. Like we send our students to Norway, to Sweden, to go and sell Christian literature. And many of them, by coming back, they clear all the fees, they start investments, they start big businesses. And so as a university, we need to encourage them to do more. But I cannot stop my talk without encouraging our students to invest in our minds. Let's have clear, clean minds without interfering with our brain, our thinking capacity, with the use of alcohol and drugs. Because the moment we enter into these habits, seriously, you can know your future investment, your current investment, your future life will be totally negatively affected. So in conclusion now, when we talk about sustainability of work, student study work program, it is sustainable, but it is not dependable fully to clear your fees or your studies. So you have to think outside the box and think beyond this study program, because you're not to remain in this university forever. It is to encourage you that you can invest or you can work even beyond the university life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Prof, probably your parting shots as we come to a close.
Thank you so much. During learning, I've also learned a lot. I just want to say that let us resolve that our future happiness or economic stability depend on what we do with ourselves today, and therefore make a resolution on what we do with ourselves today, so that in future we'll be economically stable. So your present sacrifice determines your future economic stability. That's all I want to say.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of this discussion. I know there are some questions. Okay. Yeah, I know there are some questions. The panelists will be here. Wow. I'm told if I take any more questions, we'll be just out of this room. So, CEO, can you take 2 more questions? Or you can have 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So, quickly we can take 2 questions. Please make it brief.
Good morning. My name is Thiongo Koirore. I'm the Secretary General, Kenyatta University Students Association. I want to agree with what CEO Youth Enterprise Development Fund has said, that indeed we need to increase the financial mentorships in our universities. And I have a question to you. How do you assess the sustainability of an idea or an investment? Because you've talked about starting small, and I want to believe it's not about starting small only. It's about starting small on something that is sustainable so that it can grow into something big. So how do you assess the sustainability of an idea or an investment? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Apollo Tenga is my name. I'm from Kibabi University, former congressperson. So I have got 2 questions to put across. So one, I usually post in my status in most occasions, and some of the youths, things that may be out of pride, I usually do it. So I would like to put it before the panel so that you can also help me to analyze it, so that we can get to know if they are the right things or the just things which has been posted out of pride. So my first question is like this. So most youths, like most comrades in the universities, you find that when somebody has graduated, the first thing most youths think of is marriage. So my question is, early marriage one of the key factors which have led to poverty in our country, Kenya? And then another thing, is poverty by choice, or someone can just be poor without a choice? So is poverty by choice, or is just something which can just come when you are not planned for it? Thank you so much, and may God bless you.
Thank you very much, my fellow student leaders, for the questions.
Hi, I'm Violet Tuzu. I am a volunteer from Encarolta Volunteers. I'm also an entrepreneur, co-founder of Brave Crafts, and a business that is focusing on climate action. So I have, I think I have 5 questions to ask. So I had some questions that I had to address Dr. Frederick Ogola that has left, but I'll just raise them. So if they are able to answer, they can help out. So he was talking about saving, that youths do not save, and I had this to say: youths do not have jobs, youths do not have money, so that they don't have anything to save. You need to have money to save the money. And if you don't have money now, what will you be saving? Also, youths need to be provided with the opportunity so that they can get access to the money. Instead of being in theory from, it needs to be practical. This question goes to Benson Mutendi, the CEO of Youth Enterprise Fund. So how can youths get access to the funds? As an entrepreneur myself, you get now, before getting a loan, now you need to provide books, and you get when you're starting out, you don't have the money, you don't have the clientele and the sales that is expected to earn the loans. So what can you say about that? And do you also provide grants to businesses? And what is your stand on supporting women entrepreneurs, especially in the climate action spaces? Another question that I was to ask, but he has left, is I disagreed with his sentiments on women and girls and sponsors being sponsored and all that. So I felt like women understand themselves much more better than a man can understand a woman. Thank you.
For the interest of time, we shall just take one more question.
Yes, my name is Frank Ngara from Murang'a County, the only county where milk and honey flows so natural. Now, I have a question which is general. I would like to ask, is economic growth the best solution to address poverty? Also, how would you describe your spending habits? This goes directly to the CEO of Yes, the CEO of Youth Fund, how will you describe your spending habits and what tools do you use to manage your money? And also I have a question on what are the best investment opportunities do you propose minding the pocket of students? The last question is what type of investment do you see perfect? What type of investment do you see perfect in the following? Stock investment, bond investment, mutual fund investment, real estate investment, money market investment, corporate bond, etc. So maybe you can be able to advise us on that. Thank you.
A round of applause for his question. Thank you so much for your questions. I'm really sorry for the interest of time. We won't be able to take more questions. Thank you.
That's fine.
Thank you very much for your questions. If you came into a forum and people do not ask questions, then you begin to ask yourself whether you're in the right forum. But when people are asking questions, it means people are eager to know. One, how do you assess the viability of a business? The professor here talked about it, Dr. Ogola spoke about it, that one, you look at character. You look at your past. For instance, if you ask for your investor statement, it says a lot about how you spend money. Point number two is, do you understand what you want to do? Because a lot of challenges we have with many people is, people want to be financed on the basis of passion, but not on the basis of viability of the business. Passion is that I come here and say, I want to be a rich man. I can start a business today and tomorrow I'll be a billionaire. You see, you went to a financier, you want him to believe you and finance you. But you have to demonstrate that you understand what you're talking about. You have to demonstrate that you understand the business. These products that you want to sell, where are you sourcing them from? How much? How does it cost you to source them? Where are you going to sell them? How are you going to market? And it is your responsibility as a borrower to demonstrate that you can pay. It's not the responsibility of the lender to just believe you. You must convince. It is like, and again I'll use the same example that Tari has been giving here about relationships. So when you go to a girl or you go to a gentleman, you who is going to a girl must demonstrate to that girl that you love her, you will take care of her. You don't just look at her and ask her, you can't believe me? Because, you know, I've had young people coming to my office and asking, why are you asking us questions? This money is for young people. So tupatie tukajipange, lakini unajua hizi pesa sio ya kutupa. We want to finance viable businesses so that we can employ other young Kenyans, so that we can create wealth, so that we can prepare, so that we can lend the same money to other young people. We do not give grants, we only give loans. We support both men and women, as long as you are within the age bracket, 18 to 35. Then how would you describe spending habits? I think Dr. Ogola also spoke about that. And he said one of the things to start with is go and print your M-Pesa statement. Look at where your money has gone the last 2 months. And you're able to tell your spending habits. Are you spending on consumption? Are you spending on good habits? Or are you spending on progressive habits? Then there was a question on that youth have no money to save. How can you say youth have no money to save? The youth of this country are very wealthy. Now, let me tell you, I want to challenge you, and this is a challenge I have given a lot of young people. We go to meetings, and I tell the youth, come and place your phones here. At times, my phone is the cheapest. And then you tell me that you're poor, you cannot save. Now, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If you want to do a project, why do you ask your father or whoever is buying a phone for you to buy for you a phone worth 70,000 while you could get a phone worth 20,000, still do the same functions with the same phone, use the balance to do other things? Now, this morning I have 2 college students who are living in my house. And as I left with them in the morning today, one of them had a pack he was carrying. The other one did not have. And they were going to different universities. And they asked me to give them a lift. And as they were waiting, they asked me for fare. I gave each of them 500 shillings. Now, the one who had a pack was carrying lunch. And that one who had a pack, because I know them, you 500 nilimpatia, he will not ask me for any more money the whole of this week. Now the other one did not carry lunch because he does not want to be seen carrying lunch like a girl. Are we together? He wants to buy. And he will go and buy lunch worth 400, save 100, fare ya kurudi nyumbani. Tuko pamoja? So, when you tell me youth do not have money to save, I will not understand you. Youth have a lot of money to save. You get a lot of pocket money. Now listen to me. Listen to me. Now yesterday, we were at a networking event in Westlands. Something we're doing with the British Council. I met a young lady and I asked her what she's doing with herself. And she told me she is at Moy University and that she's going back to college in March. And so what she has done, because she lives somewhere in Kayole, amepata kibarua, she's working in a restaurant and she's earning 400 shillings every day. So she had taken a break off yesterday to come and attend the forum that we were attending. And she was telling me she's targeting to save, because she's not paying rent, she wants to save 300 shillings every day and she does not use fare because this is near her home. So she earns 400 shillings every day, she'll save 300 shillings every day. Are we together? And she wants to work in that restaurant. She told me I want to do my best so that these people can retain me. She wants to work in that restaurant until a day before she returns to college. So, and it's all about the mindset again, as we said here. So this is a young college student who does not have a salary of her own, but she has looked for an opportunity to earn so that she can save. Then you have another student who will tell you that students don't have money. So you see, it's about the mindset that we were talking about. Nikimalizia, because I may not probably be able to speak again. I want to challenge all of us here. That one, your life is in your hands. It is not in the hands of your neighbors. What you do is for you. It's not to impress your friends. So that is very important. Point number 2. We must all adopt the practice of excellence. Anything you get to do, you must do it to the best of your ability. And because this country is full of people who do their work grudgingly, poorly, and they complain all the time. Service standard. This young man is in my office for internship. This young man will come to office very early in the morning. Good. When we began working with him for photography, I sat him down and I told him, I don't like your photographs because of 1, 2, 3. Needs to change angle.
Possible. And the one which I think can work for you, if your dad has a piece of land of yours, start planting trees now, which you will harvest in the next 15 years. I planted trees in my farm down in Tharaka, to be precise. And 10 years ago, every year I prune these trees, I sell firewood, and make money out of that. And I tell my young people, my students, in fact my first one is in University of Nairobi, I tell him my son is an adult now, and I tell him you should have started planting trees. But you've not started. The young one at Baraton has embraced the idea. young as he is. So young people start planting trees now, and I want to tell you, if you plant 1,000 trees now, assuming that the tree will cost 5,000 shillings in 10 years or 15 years, you're going to be a millionaire very soon. Plant 20,000 trees, you'll have about 20 million in the next 10, 15 years. And it doesn't cost you a lot to plant a tree and go away. Now, may I come? What I've planted is Miarubaina, and they're doing very well. He is asking which type of trees. I come from a semi-arid area. Now, let me go to that gentleman who talked about marrying early makes you poor. I think it's the opposite. Because two are better than one. You marry early, you start investing together, but you must be sure that the lady or the man you're marrying is not the one to pull you down, but will encourage you in investment. May I confess that I married at 25 and my wife was 20. And we've come up like a sister and a brother. God willing, Masai Mara next week will give her PhD. And we've been encouraging each other, let's do this, let's have children, let's not overbear them. And we have two boys, of course. One is doing surgery, 5th year at the University of Nairobi. The other one is doing engineering at Baraton. And when they say you give birth early, they become brighter. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how true. Otherwise, marrying late is risky.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Have a wonderful session. Over to the MCs.
They want a question.
Thank you very much. Zamzam.
Yes, Shafi.
They say,
Yes, comrades, wisdom. Comrades, wisdom. Shafi, dispense that wisdom.
They say, when old wineskins and new wineskins mix, they ruin the wineskins. But when old wisdom and new wisdom mix, they mix admirably.
Comrades, wisdom.